Today, I'm attempting Will Tennyson's 5x5 in 5 hours fitness challenge. If you don't know what the challenge is, it's where you do 5 fitness activities, eat 5,000 calories, all under 5 hours. The 5 fitness activities are run a 5K, lift 5,000 kilograms of weight, row 5,000 meters on a row machine, do 5,000 jump ropes or jumping jacks, and eat 5,000 calories, all in under 5 hours. Sounds easy, right? It is currently 11:08 a.m. My goal is to complete this by 4 p.m. today. Let's start with the 5K run on the treadmill.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for clicking on the video. This is my first long-form video on this channel, attempting this challenge that I've wanted to do for a while. As you heard in the intro, the 5x5 fitness challenge, doing 5 fitness activities and eating 5,000 calories, all in under 5 hours. This challenge has been attempted by, of course, Will Tennyson, who popularized it in his YouTube channel. I watched the video while I ran on the treadmill here, as you can see, for some motivation. He completed the challenge with only a couple minutes to spare, so I knew it was going to be very tough. Some other people that have attempted this challenge are Duncan Holzhall, Elijah Orr, Russell Muscle, and Rob Lifts. I will link their videos below to see how they fared. But as far as I can tell, most people have completed this challenge, so I went into it pretty confident, thinking that I could do it. As we get farther in the video, though, you will see that it gets very tough towards the end, especially once we get to some of the other fitness activities. I decided to start with the run just to knock it out really quickly because I knew it'd be harder to run after eating lots of calories. I took the run pretty easy just because I knew there'd be lots of activity left in the day. After the run, I was planning on doing half of the jumping jacks and then eating the first meal and then doing the strength training session. So as we finished the run here, it was about 33 minutes and 44 seconds. It was exactly 3.1 miles and about 11:45 at this point, so we got right into the jumping jacks. My plan was to do them in groups of 100, so 25 groups of 100 first, then take a break, and then do another 25 groups of 100, and you can hear how tired I was after the first 100 now. Did 100 jumping jacks, and this is going to be the hardest one by far. I can just tell after doing 100. We still have 4,900 to go. I'm going to hopefully do half now. Wish me luck. So yeah, as you heard in that clip, I could tell just on the first 100 jumping jacks that this was going to be the hardest activity by far. I wore shoes for the first 100 and it was really hurting my feet, so I decided to take off the shoes for the next 100 and go from there. But yeah, they just took so long to do and they were very tiring, jumping over and over again. It just got very repetitive, jumping over and over and over again while watching some TV. I'd rather much do something more stimulating like lifting weights or doing the rowing machine. So yeah, it just got kind of boring jumping over and over again. I had to keep track on my iPad to make sure I didn't lose count of how many jumping jacks I was doing. Every 100 jumping jacks, just going to the iPad, marking it down, and then going back to jumping some more. But we finished half.
We are halfway through jumping jacks. 5K run done, halfway through jumping jacks. It took me 57 minutes to do the jumping jacks, half of them, so about an hour. That means we're gonna need at least an hour to do the other half later in the day. But for now, I need some food because I haven't eaten all day. So we're gonna go upstairs and make meal number 1 of the day.
Lunchtime came at 12:51 p.m., almost 2 hours into the challenge, and we ate a bagel, a big glass of chocolate milk, a couple bananas, a Cliff Bar, a Fairlife protein shake, a couple tablespoons of peanut butter, and a few Quest bars. All this added up to just over 2,000 calories. At this point, I was pretty hungry from the run and the jumping jacks, so I wasn't too worried about getting this food down and eating overall. It was also food that I like to eat, so I wasn't too worried about the calorie part. As this video goes on, though, you will see that the calories will become quite a big challenge as we get towards the end of the time limit, especially with my plans for dinner, so stay tuned for that later in the video. You can also see my cat kept wanting some of my food, but unfortunately she cannot have any. This also gives me a great opportunity to tell you about the sponsor of today's video is nobody. I only have like 70 subscribers. Why would you think somebody would want to sponsor me? The only company that would want to sponsor me would be like a sketchy multi-level marketing pyramid scheme company. So I definitely wouldn't even want to put that in my video, but maybe in the future you guys will get some sponsorship videos from products that you don't want to buy and you'll just click through the part of the video that has a sponsorship anyway, like you're probably doing right now while I'm eating and watching YouTube. So yeah, let's get finished with the eating and get into the strength training session of the video, which is much more interesting. And yeah. For the strength training, my plan was to do a combination of bench press, lateral raises, overhead shoulder press, and tricep pushdowns. I wanted to keep it pretty simple so it'd be easy to keep track of how much weight I was lifting and do things that I could do over and over again. So we started with the bench press. I did 50 reps of lateral raises in 15 pounds on each hand and 50 reps of the bench press with 115 pounds loaded on the bar. So that's 1,500 pounds in lateral raises and 5,750 pounds in the bench press. That takes care of over half of the weight I had to lift, which is about 11,000 pounds is what equals 5,000 kilograms. And yeah, after doing a few reps of the lateral raises and chest press, I was feeling it pretty hard. I was getting pretty tired after the run, jumping jacks, eating and lifting. So I really had to tell myself to power through this workout and finish strong because I knew we still had lots of activity left in the day. As I moved on to the shoulder presses, I did 32 reps of 85-pound shoulder presses, which equals 2,550 pounds. So we are almost there with the strength workout. This one didn't take that long, but I was definitely feeling the effects of all the activity so far. As you can see here, I had to take several breaks and just sit and think about why I was doing this. And the thought of doing 2,500 more jumping jacks was setting into my mind and telling myself, why am I doing this? I really don't want to do this. This is a stupid idea for a video. It's not even going to work. People aren't going to watch it and things like that. But we powered through and did more tricep pushdowns because that's just what we do. We did 50 reps of tricep pushdowns with 45 pounds on the cable there, and that equals 2,550 pounds. So all of that said and done is a little over 12,000 pounds, which is more than the 5,000 kilograms, but I really just wanted to make sure that I hit the over to make sure I lifted it enough and the challenge was fully completed. This was my last rep of tricep pushdowns and last rep of the workout. It only took about 37 minutes to do the strength training session, which is about what I expected, but knowing I had to do 2,500 more jumping jacks had me on the floor feeling like this. I really was not looking forward to doing the rest of these jumping jacks, but we got up and decided to start doing them anyway. This half of jumping jacks was much harder than the first half, which says something because the first half was pretty tough, but after all of that food was just sitting in my stomach, I really had a tough time jumping. Just having all of that food sloshing around in my stomach did not feel good. As you can see, it was really slow going the first few sets of 100. But we powered through, and this was the last rep of 100 groups of jumping jacks. So here's me marking on the iPad that we have completed 5,000 jumping jacks, which took a little bit longer than I thought. By far the longest activity in the video. It took me about an hour and 12 minutes to do everything. And then we were on to the rowing machine, which is the last activity to do. We were really pressed for time now. So I jumped on the rowing machine and as fast as I could rowed 5 kilometers in about 22 minutes, 35 seconds. I wish I got more footage of the rowing machine, but it was at a pretty busy gym, so I only got some footage there. Then it was on to dinner time. I picked up a large Domino's pizza and a Chick-fil-A sandwich for dinner. I tried to think of a very calorie-dense food that I could eat a lot of, and I had a free Chick-fil-A sandwich coupon on the app, so I picked that up as well. The large Domino's pizza was about 2,700 calories, and the Chick-fil-A sandwich was 440 calories. So if I am able to get all of this down, that would put me over the 5,000 calorie goal for the day. But man, was I feeling it at this point. It hadn't been that long since I'd eaten my first meal, only a couple hours, so I didn't have that much time to digest the first meal before I had to jump in and eat this meal. I think if I had some more time to digest that food, I would be a lot more excited to eat this food, but I knew it was going to be a challenge going into it to get this pizza down. I only had about 20 minutes to eat this pizza, so I was really kind of rushing to make sure I could eat it before the time limit was over, but I already knew that it was looking pretty grim at this point to eat this entire pizza in 20 minutes with how full I was and how tired I was from the run, the jumping jacks, the lifting, the row machine. But yeah, overall this challenge was a really fun way to spend an afternoon. I encourage you to give it a try, especially if you think it is easy. I went into it thinking it would be a lot easier than it was. Turns out it is very difficult, and I'm surprised. Most of the videos on YouTube are people completing this challenge within the 5-hour time limit. You can see I really start to slow down here toward these last couple slices, and I actually ran out of time after this slice, so I decided to not even eat the last 2 slices, knowing that I'd run out of time and I was very full anyway. So I just sat there and reflected on the day, thought about what I could have done differently. I think I would have ran a little bit faster on the treadmill just to save some more time, do some more jumping jacks in that first session so it wouldn't be as difficult to do them in the second session. I wouldn't change too much else about the lifting or the rowing machine. That was pretty straightforward. Comment down below if you want to see me redo this challenge. Other than that, thanks for watching, like and subscribe.